but what I do is I'm actually a chef. I don't judge the clothes. Sunday fun day movie. So what I'm doing is my niece actually made some beautiful tomato sauce from her garden from this past summer, and she froze them, she backed them, and everything else with the proper thing, and then she cooked them down, and she got some red sauce here. So I got some chicken that I picked up. It's a good deal, and so I'm doing homemade hand breaded chicken parmesan with homemade garden sauce. And I'm also doing a cold pasta salad. I love the cold pasta salad. I use a little bit of shallots, red onion or whatever, and broccoli and cucumber and mayonnaise base and all that. So we're gonna have some fun. All right. So I figured, why not? Why not share it with everybody else? So if you can see me, you can see me. All right. Alright, let's get going. Alright, I'm dragging butt today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday was such a beautiful day out, and then got some yard work done. I'm 44. My back hurts a little bit, so it is what it is. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that pause, but I had to go put my shelf attire on. This is my home gear right here, right? Alright. Gatorade bottle. Actually, Gatorade bottle is no Gatorade. Actually, I'm doing lemonade right now. These little food mixers. I quit drinking soda, and I gotta be honest with you. I quit drinking alcohol a while back, partying and all that. But the sweets, they really get me. They really get me. So I just cut back on the soda, and now I drink preferably pink lemonade. Just a little mixture that I throw together, but I was not able to get that at the store today, so I got some regular lemonade. Hey, and here's the crazy thing. I've been missing this earpiece for like weeks now, and I go downstairs, and all of a sudden, randomly, it just hits the floor, and I look, and I'm like, what is that noise? And it's my earpiece. I swear to God, I'm not on drugs or anything. It's just a weird thing. I've had this set for quite a few months now. Realistically, I've had super expensive sets, and I've had cheaper sets. This was only $15, and these earbuds are the best, but I know I need to get rid of the wireless because it's not good for my brain and all that, yada, yada, yada. But it's just crazy. It just popped up. So I'm going to charge it and see what it does. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is wash your hands. You got to stay safe. Listen, y'all. If you ain't washing your hands, and you ain't doing the right thing, get out the kitchen, okay? For one, nobody wants to know where your hands have been. And for two, respect the people that are eating your food. It's not just throw some shit together and say, there's dinner. Have some passion with it. Otherwise, move off the channel. And my nose is really runny right now because the weather's changed. Yesterday I was out working in the yard for many hours, did some landscaping, with some mulching. I absolutely enjoy it. See, here's the thing, if you're not on a time crunch and you're just working out, it's a great time. And I had a great time yesterday actually. And then I took a few hour bike ride. What can I say? I like Arby's. So I have a knack for Arby's sandwiches. I like to get a beef and cheddar with the horseradish sauce, and I do like the turkey bacon ranch. It is what it is, but that's my junk food. And yeah, I don't do McDonald's and all that other shit. So anyways, I got a bunch of spices here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my rapid boil, woo, just like that. You got good pans, good hot water. I always add a little salt to it to season my pasta, and I'm using elbow. I got some elbow macaroni. So we're gonna use some elbow macaroni pasta. Okay, I love it. It's like a summer thing for me. I'm gonna use it all. It's a summer thing for me. I just like it. I love barbecue food. If you watch my channel or anything, you'll learn that I love all food, to be honest with you, but I love chicken wings, pasta, pizza, and macaroni salad. It's really good. So what I do is I'm going to sit this, and I'm going to chicken wings with oil. This is Anna. Anna, come on. Everybody wants to see you. She is a poodle, and she runs around, she does her thing. So she's a black little poodle. She's different. I'm a huge dog lover. I actually, one time when I was in jail, I had, my mom passed away, so I was able to go to her funeral and come back, and I actually came back in. I was 20 minutes late, and I thought I was going to be killed for that, but actually I wasn't. I wasn't about to get away, but they were just shocked the fact that I came back due to circumstances. And they offered me an outside position Monday through Friday, put me in, was at Dr. Quarantine, but the infirmary room, so that way I could go to and from, and I wasn't fascinated, but I had a great time. I love pit bulls, I love dogs in general. There was a lot of pit bulls that used to come in. There was a guy named Q, he was the officer for that shelter, and he'd leave me messages in the morning, be careful of this dog, but you know what, the dogs, they know humans. I thought, come on. Go outside so I can clean the kennel. Anyways, I got elbow pasta going right now. Let me get the sorry about that. I got a calendar because I got to drain the pasta. Let it chill. I don't know about you, but when I do pasta, here's what I do, okay? I heat it up, I cook it to an al dente. They say, oh, what's an al dente? It's called 3/4 of the way. You take the pasta, look at your time. There's a lot of times on the packages and everything that you look at, they will tell you right on the back on how to cook it. If you don't know, just follow the directions. I mean, these people have been doing this forever. They're going to tell you how to cook it for a reason. So I'm doing the elbow, so I'm probably going to do with a rapid boil roughly about 7 to 8 minutes, and I'm going to check it because it's this thinner pasta, and then I'm going to rapidly cool it. Now here's the trick. A lot of people get this wrong, okay? Let me just tell you, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. When you cook pasta, once you cook it, you put it in a calendar. It's one of these little holy jigaboos, okay? There you go. What I do is I then run cold water over it, and then I let it sit for a second, and then I get it to unstick, right? I don't do massive amounts of oil or anything like that. I just run the cool water on there, and then I let it sit, cool off for a second, because you don't want to burn the balls. And then I fluff it, and then I get it nice and neat. Then I add, once it's done draining, I flip it around, as you'll see. Then what I do is I add a little olive oil of your choice, whatever it may be. But then, just a little bit, okay? You gotta remember, pasta is a sponge. You don't want to just throw it in cold water and let it sit. You're gonna kill the pasta, right? Perfect al dente, when you get done cooking it, break it in half. If you see a tiny little bit of rawness, which is usually white, you just want a smidgen of that, and I'll tell you why. So once you rapidly cool your pasta and you get it nice and drained down and everything, you put it on a sheet pan and a little olive oil, toss it, let it breathe, right? Don't over-induce it with cold water or submerge it, or over-induce it with olive oil. And the reason why is because it's a sponge. It needs to soak up all your sauce, all that delicious goodness that you worked your ass off for, right? Okay, so pay attention now. Listen, so once you get that done, then you just go about your day. So anyways, I have lots of seasonings here. I have salt, pepper. I have a little garlic, spice crunch, garlic, oregano, and a little chili pepper. So we're making the pasta first, which is my summer burn. I love this. It's so good with chicken wings. It's so good with a sandwich. Anything you just want to eat, it's a good little side. You know, it's got all your carbs in it and vegetables. So what I do is, now I've got that going right now. Now I'm not trying to confuse you, but that's already been about 4 to 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to take my broccoli. Okay. Sharp knife. Take the broccoli. Don't know if you can see this or not, but we'll get it straight. Stay with me. I'm not a big video photographer, I'm going to say. So let's get this broccoli going. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. See the broccoli? It's raw. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut off the stalk right there. And I don't want to cut, see how clean that is? Now I got a little piece of green right there, and I'm actually going to keep that because well, let's not go there. That's kitchen talk. I don't want to be inappropriate, and I wasn't trying to be rude, but it's called Uncle Jaime, which means I'm a Scrooge, and I'm very tight on everything I do. So if you grow food or you produce livestock of some sort, I'm going to use every single bit of that because your hard work and that animal or your product went into that, and I'm not going to waste nothing. So I'm just going to get a nice little stock clean right there. See that? Easy. It's very easy. Now you can keep the stalks on. They're good. You know, broccolini, whatever. You just want to saute them and all that. I'll get into that later. I got a really, really, really good recipe for this. Actually, I got an award for that recipe. But I'm just going to use this for a pasta salad, so I'm going to keep it as clean as possible. And don't think I'm not going to use those stalks later, because I will. Because, like I said, I'm behind me. It is what it is. So, it means I'm cheap. Give it a little rough chop, not too fine. Because the thing is, here's the thing, and I know this sounds brutal, but like the way I was taught in the restaurant industry, a lot of people that come to a fine or dine restaurant, a lot of times they're older. They're in the 40s or plus, right? So they're either retirees and blah, blah, blah. And what I was always taught is to keep the bites fork size, because for one, they can hit it with a fork. It's easy to chew and swallow. And then two, it's not gigantic. You don't have to cut everything you want to. It sounds cool, you look great, all that, but let's get to the point. Let's do a nice little shiver. And I hate to say it, but there's a lot of people that are older that they got dentures, so they don't want big, huge bites to disrupt their meal. And you're like, why would you even say that? Well, it's because it's true. So I'm giving it a nice little rough chop, 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 chop. Like I said, about 5 minutes in there. Now I'm going to add this broccoli to it. It's called a blanch. A blanch is roughly, what I do is a rapid boil for roughly, I'll be honest with you, about 2.5 minutes is perfect. And then you take that product out and you submerge it and you cool it off really quickly. And then it brings back that vegetable to a nice little snap. If you just sit there and put it in water and let it cook for a long time, you're going to get an overcooked veggie, green bean, asparagus, whatever it may be. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to a really good restaurant, you'll know that blanching is listen, I don't cut corners, man. I don't give a shit. I've worked my ass off for so many years, 60, 70, 80 to 100 hours a week, And I do never cut corners. I don't give a shit. I've had people say, why do you do it like that? It's so much work. And I said, because when our guests come in, they notice the difference between my restaurant and yours. That's why. And is it obsessive? A little bit, yeah. But the thing is I care about what you put in your body, as well as the fact that you are going to pay me, come to our establishment and pay me, and pay my crew, and even tip, and enjoy your meal. I'm going to make sure that I'm not serving you raw food, overdated food, expired food. Listen, if you pay attention to anything about a culinary world and restaurants, a lot of times if you look in a city, just go to the city sometimes and watch early in the morning to like 4 o'clock to noon, if you ever have a chance, which you probably never will. And you will see the same delivery truck go from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant. Now, they're all using the same product, right? It's meat from a tube, it's all that jazz. I don't do that, okay? I really don't do that, and I'm being honest with you. I literally go to local farmers when I can, produce, meats, chicken, poultry. Lamb is my favorite. It's 2.5 minutes in there, and then the pasta's gonna be done. See how I did that? I just threw, hold on, because I'm jabbing. See that? I literally got the pasta cooking right now, and I've got the broccoli. It's 2-in-1, baby. Why kill my dishwasher? A lot of people say, well, I don't do shit. Well, I ain't trying to kill the dishwasher, right? So if I can use multiple things at one time, for one, it's a respect for what I'm doing, and two, it's a save of energy and cost and everything else. People don't realize when you walk into a restaurant, do you know how much it costs roughly per day just to turn on your hoods and your electric and all the fun stuff that you see? It's a lot of money. All right, let's get going here. All right, so I gotta clean up this mess. I love this time. I haven't been able to do this for a while. I'm staying with my family right now because I just relocated back to the area, and things are, great, and I love my family. It's just, when they're here, I respect everything that they say and do, and it's their house too. But when it's Ryan, I utilize the kitchen and I cook things. And not that I can't do that already. There's something about when you just cut that breath of fresh air, okay? Fall with me. It's so funny though, let me tell you a quick story. So they got a poodle here, and her name's Ani, and she's sweet. Like I said, I'm a dog lover and blah, blah, blah. That's what I was talking about earlier, I'm sorry. My head's kind of like in the clouds right now. Got a lot going on. Anyways, she barks at me, she acts like she doesn't know me. But she checks on me all the time. We go outside and I tell her, watch it, do this, do that. And she runs around the shed, and keep the little critters away. And so it's like outside she's, all about the fun. Inside she's like, oh, that's my parents and I gotta be loyal. Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, she's a sweet dog. Definitely different though. I'm used to dogs that are all up in your face. Want to know every little thing you're doing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting a red onion. Okay, I love red onion. Have a little compost thing outside. So I'm cutting a little red onion. Let me give you a little better picture of what we got going on here. I like red onion. It's very sweet. It's kind of got a little spice to it and everything else. It's very good. And so, with my pasta that I have cooking, it's been that time, see? And, well, because I'm doing, let you see. See the show and tell? There it is. You got pasta, you got broccoli, and I'm going to strain it. You says, how do you know it's cooked? Because I do. I'm gonna drop it in there right quick. Don't worry, that's not a dirty dish towel in there. It's actually the one that I'm using right now for cleaning. So I would make sure I get this pasta out of here. Now look, this is what I'm talking about. If you cook pasta the right way, I didn't even add no olive oil or butter or anything. It's just the right rapid boil. Just follow the instructions on the packages. Like I said, these people do tests. You know, your grandma, your mom, or your auntie, your boyfriend, whatever, is always going to tell you something different. Just listen. Just follow the instructions. I did a rapid boil. I let it go to a rapid boil for roughly about a couple minutes. I obviously added some sea salt for seasoning, and I put the lid on it, and I covered it, and it got quick. It got hot real quick, right? It's a good pan. What is this pan? Kirkland. Yep, good hot pan. That I know. So now I got all my goodies in here. So let me clean the sink a little bit. I hate things to shut up. Listen, I don't know about you, but when I'm working in the kitchen, and I'll show you pictures, my work area is absolutely clean all the time. I'm constantly wiping, doing all that, because for one, I'm already ADHD, right? So it has to be organized, and it has to be right. When things are just there because it don't make sense, I get the fucking shovel and I get rid of it. All right, cold water. Now, like what I said, with the pasta, I got a little hose here from the sink. I'm gonna let it cool off for a second. Now I'm not gonna play with it too much because remember I got broccoli in there. Those broccoli florets, they will spread. You'll have green everywhere. We want to keep it a little organized. There goes my allergies, as you can tell by my throat. All right, so now it's hot. It's somewhat cool. Oh, there it goes. See? Like I said, what I say, wash your hands before you do anything. Anything and everything. Even yesterday when I worked in the yard, you know what I did? I wore gloves. Why? Because I'm a chef. I don't need dirt underneath my fingernails. It's not because I'm trying to be prim and proper. It's because I don't want to have to go later on to dig that shit out, because you don't want that in your food. I don't want that in your food, and I don't want that in my food. All right, see, this is so easy right here. I'm telling you, gosh. Listen, I've seen it so many times where people just take pasta, they throw it in a sink full of cold water and ice and all this, and they do all this jazz. You're ruining your pasta. And I'll prove it. Remember, I didn't fondle it too much because I got broccoli oils. Nice and cool to the touch. I'm not trying to abuse it. I'm trying to keep it together. Oh, look at that. Because everybody wants a piece of pasta with some good sauce, nice piece of broccoli, maybe a tomato or something on there, a little meat, whatever you want. Me, I'm using onion, garlic, red onion, broccoli, and elbow noodle. Simple. A little white wine vinegar, a little sugar. Now, all right. For all my little foodies out there that are gonna be like, well, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Cool, awesome. You know what? One day I'll grow up to be just like you. All right, great, thanks. So, let me clean this real quick. Like I said, these are all fresh rags. I just pulled that out too because I'm gonna cook. So I need a fresh rag. Now, all right, let me show you. Oh, that's my wet rag. You gotta understand, I love this stuff right here. I love cooking. And somebody said, but you're a skinny chef, I shouldn't trust you. Okay, all right, well, yeah. So I used to abuse my body. I used to eat everything and anything under the sun, and I used to drink like a fucking sailor. And I would do things that I shouldn't have done. And I was like borderline diabetic. Listen, once you get to that stage, there's no turning back. just like with the drinking, once you get to the stage of cirrhosis of the liver, there's no turning back, right? So I actually changed my lifestyle and I've cut down. I've probably lost, what, 32 pounds in a year? So judge me how you will, but let me tell you this. If I go to work and I'm working 12, 16, 14, whatever hours a day after day after day after day, okay? You really think I have time to sit down and enjoy a meal like you guys do? No, that's my profession, is to make you, will have you sit down and enjoy that meal. Me, it's called grazing. I eat vegetables, do whatever it was. Back then it was a lot of fried food, everything else. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm healthy now. So, and on top of that, do you know how hard it is to work around a 300 or 400 pound chef in a kitchen? It's not realistic. For one, it's too hot. Two, it's getting in the way. All right, let's look at the pasta. See? Look at it, it's not sticking. No oil. See that? It's not sticking, is it? Look at it. Come on now. I don't trust the skinny chef. Well, you better, because you'd be surprised how many foods I cooked over the years, and I might have cooked yours if you've ever been around the area. So I'm gonna let this drain, because that's what we do, right? And like I said, if this was pasta cooked for service, I would let it fully drain, put it on a sheet pan with parchment paper, give it a little bit of drizzle of olive oil, toss it up in my hands, let it lay flat, let it breathe. Listen, don't saturate it with water or ice or olive oil, butter, and all that other stuff. If you cook it right, you got good pasta. Remember, it's a sponge. When you make that sauce that you're busting your ass over day after day, I want that to soak it up. That's the difference. Now I'm cooking red onion, cutting red onion. Alright, so I'm just going to move the trash can over here because I got a lot of little bit of stuff. Oh, you want to see me cut onions? Okay. So, see the little onion? I love these. Smells so good. So what I do is I cut the tip off, I give it a slight spur, I pull it back and I do this, and then what I do, okay, see if I can get this in here. I don't know if I can because I'm not a cameraman. I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a cameraman, I'm not a fucking good husband. That's what I do. Alright? Let me see. Alright, let me push this out of the way. Push this out of the way, right there. Okay, so what I do is a very sharp knife. Here's how I can tell if it's a sharp knife. I actually will slightly do this, and I can tell the difference. That's what I do. So I'm gonna get a little split, a little split. Now, what I'm doing is, see the knife? See how it's going only so far back? And then I'm pulling it back. Now watch. I'm going the same way, but look. See that piece? Because here's the thing. I didn't go all the way back. And I'm not going all the way back now. Now, I'm bringing the knife in and down. See that? It feels weird doing it slow because I'm used to doing it fast. Now, I take this part and I just make it as small or as big as I need to. See that? Now, this end piece, what you do is you just give it a little rough chop or fine chop or whatever chop you want. I like my pieces small because this is a pasta salad. It's not a shish kebab or anything like that. Come on, guys. Keep it simple. You just want enough to give it flavor. Oh, look at that. It smells so good. I'm just being honest with you. Don't worry, all my surfaces are clean. Doesn't matter, you're not eating it anyway. So, now, my eyes are burning right now, right? Now watch. Okay, let's try this again. I got a half onion. See it? Okay. Now I'm going to take my blade And I'm going to go low. All right, low. And I'm bringing it back. See? That cuts it in a way you don't want. Now, if you bring it back like this, cuts it. See? Slowly guide your blade to do a 3/4 cut. Now, it's still sitting there, right? So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to bring it down, drop it down. Make it nice and beautiful. See, I didn't cut all the way through. That's the thing. I cut it 3/4 of the way. Now, depending on how much you want, or how thin or small you want it, that's on you. I'm going to do a mince. I want it nice and little. It's a solid. Okay? Whew. Wow, it's a burning, boy. Alright, let's get to the paperwork. I need a towel. Those are definitely 100% strong, good onions. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't shop at the local grocer like some people do. I actually, well, yes, I did. I went to Aldi's. Yep, I went to Aldi's. And here's the thing. They either have what I want or they don't. But I'll tell you what, as a 44-year-old man growing up, Aldi was like considered a poor man's food. I'll tell you what, they have definitely upped their game, and their product is definitely not that bad. Now, I do a lot of contacts with my local butchers and everything else, but you gotta understand, it is what it is for now, right? Just making a summer salad. Look how beautiful that onion is. Ooh, boy. See that? Nice, finely chopped. Alright. So, what am I doing next? I'm going to push this aside. I'm going to do some red pepper. Well, if you're looking at my refrigerator, at least you know it's full of sauces, full of all the good stuff. It's not dirty. So a lot of people say, well, I don't have that much shit in my refrigerator. It's probably because you eat out a lot. Alright, so I take this little pepper, right? Now, what I do is I split it down the center. See that? And I just throw that little booger away. It's not that I don't like the seeds. It's the fact that you don't want that shit in your teeth. It can, you know, get into your teeth and cause damage. Maybe, I'm sure. Same thing. Beautiful. Oh my god, it smells so good. It smells like a pepper. My favorite, okay. I love red bell pepper, the big ones, not these little ones. But these are good too. I love, I don't know what it is, but call me crazy, but the green peppers, I love them. My mom used to grow them in the garden and everything, but as I got older, like, I would, you know, eat them with a sauce or whatever and just go out there and wipe them down with a rag, but I'd get like, I'd flare up. It's kind of weird. I don't even know how to explain it. But the red bell pepper, the bigger ones are my favorites. I love serranos and I love poblanos. I like them all, but those are my favorite right there. I do a lot with them, and plus, being a chef, you want a lot of pop in your food, right? Which means red, green, yellow, whatever you can do to add some of those colors. You don't want it to all mix together like a soup. It's not a soup. You want something to pop. You need some red, green, yellow, cilantro, onion, whatever it may be, right? So I'm just going to basically just take these, cut them in half, see that? And what I do is I julienne style, which means long ways.
And I'm gonna do a fine little chop because these are not only for flavor and aroma, but they're for not trying to make a meal out of them. I'm just trying to incorporate them with my pasta, right? Cool. Yeah, if you're making fun of my knife skills, that's fine. I've been doing this for 23 years. I've never cut my finger. And I got this thing, as I was told, called a dummy finger. It's because I lead with my thumb. When most people pull back, I actually lead, and then I push forward. So it's just the way we cut. It's the way it works. I remember one time I got in trouble in, what was that class? Not home ec or some shit. It was a computer class. We had to type and stuff, and I used literally this finger, this thumb, and vice versa. So these 6, and I would type, and I got in trouble. I got a fucking C. Why? Because I didn't type with all my proper fingers. But guess what? And I'm not bragging. I was literally the fastest typer in that class because it worked best for me. Like, listen, I don't give a shit. Here's the deal. Like, it's like I tell guys, you got to do things the right way. If you got a little different way of doing it by your technique and stuff, I just need the final result to be what it is. How's that? Like, I'm not going to tell you to cut like me. I'm not going to tell you to sharpen your knife like me. And I'm not going to tell you to stand like me. But as long as that end result is where it needs to be, we're winning. See, I said we are winning, not me or you. We, because now we're a team. Right? We're in this shit together. Oh God, I love these peppers right here. These are so good. I do so much with them. I roast them all. Put a little olive oil on them. Season them. Peel it back. Incorporate them to everything. Like, and do your research. You know what? I got a homework assignment for you. Tell me how good the red pepper is for you. Alright? Alright, cool. I was watching this Jamaican guy. I used to know. He's passed now, but I remember I used to go by his house all the time, and he'd smoke, ganja. And, I went up there and sat with him, and we met. We became friends. And one day he was like, "I'm cooking dinner. You want to come over?" I said, "Yeah." He didn't talk, text, or stuff like that. It was all word to mouth, And he did fresh, ground garlic that he had homegrown in his little concoction of a farm garden, and did basil, and we literally just ate that. But what people don't know is that shit's good for you. Alright. Pasta's all good. I'm not making this shit up. Let's see where I'm at. For real though. Come on. Alright. Let's get this shit together. Somebody use a glass bowl. Probably not big enough. Big bowl. Turns out I made too much. So the bowl is sitting on the shelf. Here it is. Alright. It's been sitting on the shelf for a minute, so I'm going to give it a quick rinse. It don't hurt. Dust. We are human. Dust does accumulate, and it does what it does, right? So, alright, so I got the pasta. Like I said, I use every single piece I can because somebody made this with their hands, they cultivated it, and did something with it. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I appreciate whatever you did to get this to where I'm at. Oh, that pasta is so good right now. So good. Alright. So we got the pasta. See? Yay! Now, this is what I'm looking at. See my station? See how clean and organized it is? We got food. Everything's fine. I'm gonna take this right here. Put it in this bowl. Boy. I don't know what it is, man, but that smell of the red peppers and I used to date this girl, well, she was older than me, so I'm not gonna say girl. Woman. And she always loved the smell of cilantro. And she used to say the same thing I say about red onion and red pepper. It just reminds me of summertime. Like, I smell it, I'm like, oh, yeah. Beachfront, everything's good. Let's do a little chili. So I'm actually going to add just a little bit of ground or chili pepper, not too much. I'm going to add a little garlic crunch, which is basically garlic, barbecue, onion, and then it's dehydrated and then it's chopped down. And then black pepper. I like black pepper, not a lot. Well, this is the part I can't show you because this is my sauce. It's a mayonnaise base. I do a little chipotle. Let's just say this. I use mayonnaise. I use a little bit of buttermilk and regular milk. I use all fresh ingredients for ranch base. The chives, onion, all that good stuff, Parmesan. And then what I did is I actually added a little chipotle chili out of those little cans, right? They're delicious. Hold on, can't look at it. Alright. And yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's really good actually. I'm not gonna lie. I need to add a little garlic to it though. Alright, let's mix it up. Wooden spoon. This is my favorite friend. Yeah. Oh, you guys want to see? I'm sure you can see though, right? See the red with the red pepper, the onion, the broccoli, my sauce, the pasta, salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic. I like garlic and everything, so it is what it is. I use granulated garlic. I also use minced garlic that I already put within my sauce. So what I do with my garlic is I spoil it. I roast it in the oven. I cut the bottom off and the top, and then when you get that little flaw, I actually put a little olive oil in there, a little salt, a little pepper, and then I cook it for about an hour and a half at a certain temperature. I'm not telling you, it's like candy, and it's so good. You just take it, you squeeze it, and mince it up, and do whatever you gotta do. It's just like so good. I used to literally sell 2 florals of garlic, heads of garlic, with 8 pieces of baguette and a little pesto and olive oil on top, and I'd serve it on a dish and literally got $35 for it all day long. And you say, oh my god, that's too much. No, what you don't understand is the garlic itself was high end. I didn't make a lot of money on that because the time that it took And the gas, see, that's what you guys got to think. You can forget about that. You're like, oh, no. If it costs you $2 for this, why you? Well, because I got overhead, motherfucker, right? I got overhead. I got electricity. I got staff. I got insurance. You think just because I'm paying you don't think I'm not paying into your, like, other stuff? Come on. Anyways. I love this stuff, though. It's like, oh, God, it's so good. But yeah, I used to get that much for my garlic. And the lady in the next town, they had their own olive oil. So I definitely support local. Like I said, if you pay attention, a lot of restaurants will use the same vendors, which I mean is the same companies that go from restaurant to bar to restaurant to bar or whatever it may be. I literally went out and got my own beef from a local guy there in Michigan. Like he unalived 8 cows a week that ate a specific type of food and the way it was processed and everything else. And then I would get all my local fish and lamb. There was actually a group of Amish people that I got my chickens from. When I could, only on specials. I couldn't do it on a regular day because that's just like mass. That's a lot. It's not something you can do chicken wings with. It's a nice little chicken plate is what I used to do. And then the lamb, same thing. They were certified and everything else, and I'd get it for them. And then in season, I used to have these farm boys that would come in and we'd make a tremendous deal with them, to where they would come in and, they'd say, hey, I've got these bushels of red peppers or zucchini or onions or tomatoes. Would you like them? And I look them over and I say, yeah. And, I would cut them a check or whatever, but I'm not going to lie, and I can't tell you right now, but we were like one of the best restaurants on the water where I was at. For one, we had a boat here and dock, and we had more station bars than we did a kitchen. So we would get so busy. One year, like literally, I'm not gonna lie, man, like we didn't do like $200,000 in room sales. It was bad, right? And I helped this lady move on and make it better. And a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of ego issues, a lot of everything, right? But that's part of it, right? I call it the mad scientist lab because you got to try things, right? And now, when I first started there, these guys literally had pre-cooked everything. All they had to do was throw it in the microwave or put it on the flat top real quick. And I'm like, what the heck? What is this? I was like, here's the deal. You guys are going to hate me, but the bottom line is we're going to start making everything from scratch. And it sucks. But the truth is, it's going to help our customers. They're going to notice the difference. Because the place was, where it was located, was a gold mine for drinkers, right? It was right outside of the county. It was right off the water. It had a lot of different accessories. The food just sucked. And so I said, hey, we gotta do this, and I need your help. And they're like, oh, whatever, dude, blah, blah, I don't want to be a part of that. I said, well, how about this? You're making $12 an hour. Would you like to make 18? Okay, yeah, okay. So there you go. That's how it works. Because is it going to happen overnight? No. But what happens is what I did a big training session. Went to the local university there, college, whatever, and hired the staff, because you got to remember, if you hire 50 people, there's probably going to be at least maybe 18, 20 people that show up. And then how many people are going to last on top of that? So you got to hire a mass quantity. And what I did is I told everybody, I don't give a shit what you know or whatever. Here's what we're going to do. We're all going to learn dish today. Why? For one, you need to know how to properly wash and rinse a dish. And two, you need to know where it is and where it's placed. There you go. Then we're going to do prep. Everybody needs to know, but I'm not as good at it as Paulie is, or Paulie's better. Cool, but guess what? Now you know. Okay, so if anything ever happens on a fly and we run out, you know how to make it. Or if Susie or Jackie or whatever is sick, you know how to make it, right? So now I'm going to train you in every position, this position and so on, right? See these 5 fingers? I'm going to train you in all of them. but I'm not as good. But here's what you are. Now you're an asset. You know where everything is. Do the dishes. You know how to do prep because you've done it. And you've worked every position. Are you better at it than this guy? Maybe or maybe not. But the bottom line is sometimes something happens to people and we got to fill in that position. Right? Right? So what did I do? I turned you to a $12 an hour employee to $18 plus. And listen, I've had so many people coming to me over my years and they're like, well, I'm a chef, I'm this and that. Cool. Let's go back in my kitchen, show me how you cook this and how you cook that. Listen, you know how I got my job? I was told, okay, you want this position? Yeah. All right. So I need you to cook an appetizer and an entree. You got 2 hours. I need you to buy the ingredients, and there it is. Oh, shit. Here's the point. This was a time in my life where I was like broke, man. I had an EBT card, man. And I just got out of recovery and shit. Anyways, I took what I had and I made the best of it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'll sweat my balls off. But I did a salmon croquette with a bistro wind sauce with blueberry vinaigrette dressing from local blueberries, because that's all I had in the refrigerator. And then I did a coffee rub pork tenderloin with brown sugar and seared it with slight smoked cherry compote with red wine. Yeah, I did that shit. And I served it in 40, I keep saying, I don't know, 45 to 48 minutes. Let's just go with 50 minutes if that makes you feel comfortable. And I did that. And they all sat down. And I'm talking a multi-million dollar hotel sat down, ate my food. Not only did they offer me the position, but they cut me back a check, not only for what I used. They didn't know it was my EBT card and that I was struggling. I don't tell that. But that's the truth. Not only did I get that money back, but I got it times 2. Okay? So, and then I started the next thing. So, the day after actually. So, and that's the way it should be, because, here's the thing. A lot of people just go to a restaurant because they're like, oh, well, I got felonies, it's easy, or I'm hungry, whatever it may be, or I'm just a fucktard. No, listen, I love fucktards, I love felons, and I love crazy people. That's what makes us unique. You have to be kind of a slightly crazy person, how about that, to work in our industry, because for one, it's long hours, anywhere between 8 and 16, 20 hours a day, depending. A lot of go, a lot of preparation to get it right the first time, not the second time. A lot of miscommunication with the front of the house and the back of the house. And you're underpaid as fuck. You know how many times I've seen front of the house walk away with so much money and they didn't know shit? And I look at my boys in the back, I'm like, God damn, that pisses me off. But I learned how to do dishes for 8 months. Then I was a prep for 8 months. Then I moved my way up. That's how I learned. And I found 5 different chefs, and this is what I said. I ain't going to college. Listen, I like what you do. I would like to know what you do, and I work for free, and they laugh at you or whatever. And basically, they're still going to pay you or whatever, but, I wasn't asking for money. I was like, I want my education to be through you because I respect you, and I've been doing my research and around the area. You got what I want. That's how I got my education. A lot of these people go off to these culinary schools and everything else, and they come out with their little bags, and they got their knives right here and their holster, and they're walking down the street. You go fuck yourself. For one, you don't know shit about timing or anything. You got to literally work your way up from the bottom up. That's why when I've done interviews, and I've done a lot, I've had so many people come in there and they say, I want $30 an hour, and this and that. Okay, cool. So let's go to the back. Let's cut a few things and see where you're at. Cook me something. Oh, I've never had to do that before. You're a chef. You're a chef, right? It's like being a therapist, therapist. Sit down, let's talk. I should be able to ask you a question. You should be able to help me out right away, right? But no, there's a lot of this. God damn it, I'll tell this story. I had this kid. He just annoyed the fuck out of me one year, man. He called me every day for 2 weeks. Hey, chef. I just want to be a dishwasher. Cool, I'll call you if I need you. Hey, chef, you know the story. Every day. finally I said, motherfucker, dude, fine, okay, fuck it, come in and I'll use your help, but you're doing this and this. And he was fine with it. And he asked so many questions. Can I learn how to do that? No, we don't have time for that right now. Can I learn how to do that? Actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Turns out, not only was my best dishwasher, my best prep guy, but one of my best linemen, and he was only 17. But then here's what happened. I hired him. He did great. He moved up. He was one of my best workers. Then, Michigan being Michigan, his parents were growers, medical field, if you know what I'm saying. And they opened a dispensary. And I lost one of my best helps. And I used to go, and I used to be one of his best clients. I go in there all the time, checking out new product and everything else. And I asked him one day, and this is a small story, but I said, your biggest challenge in life now, going from where you worked at in the restaurant, and now that I'm near the big boss, what is your biggest challenge? You know what he told me? Moving the money. He said, I make so much money right now that we can't just walk out of here because we'll get robbed. And I can't just go and buy everything I want because, you know, federal and shit like that, right? So I learned a life lesson from him too, multiple ways. That's why I say sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Somebody that's a pain in your butt, acknowledge them. The ones that sit there and talk about everything, whew, see ya. Don't care. Literally, and I'm not lying, and I'm not hating, but every single chef that has ever come to my interview with credentials and a white coat and a nice set couldn't do anything under pressure. I've never seen them. They couldn't cut properly. They flaked over like 2 tickets with 5 or 6 items per ticket, and they're like, what do I do? I mean, like, you gotta improvise. You gotta be a beast. You gotta be a fucking monster. You gotta have thick skin. So, anyways, back to the pasta side. It's got a little spice to it. It's so good. Look. Here. You guys like that? Check it out. We made this, guys. Not staged. We made it together, you and I. Thank you. Now,